Hello this is from a truck stop near Indianapolis. I'm hauling a load for Procter and Gamble from Iowa to Pennsylvania. I've settled into my cab after taking a shower here at the truck stop. And I just wanted to review 2023 a little bit. This is New Year's Eve, and just give a brief overview of some of what happened to me, and I guess lead into hopefully the new year starting tomorrow. This last year, 2023, I think it's been rough for a lot of people. For me, it started out on kind of a downturn. I was facing some difficulty. I felt like I didn't feel like I was on a path that got me where I wanted to go in life. I had filled up a bunch of credit cards, a lot with some dental work that I had done, and the work that I was doing, I was working for TaskRabbit, which it was a really good opportunity, but I think it wasn't quite going to be enough to get me where I wanted to go. So I recognized that, and I didn't quite know what I was going to do next. I felt like I was treading water, but wasn't really moving in a real positive direction. So then towards the middle of the year, I got to go out to Colorado. That was a big part of 2023 for me. Was about a month I spent in Colorado, a part of it working on a cabin for some people from Texas. They have a property up there. That's how I ended up out there in the first place. I went up there to work on the cabin, did a few things for them, and then stayed out there and lived out of my the Subaru. It's a Subaru Crosstrek. Just had some water and some food, and cooked on a little camping stove, and did some hikes. I read the full New Testament, and believe I had some insight there. I look forward to sharing when I can gather my thoughts about that. And I had some really great hikes. Very beautiful part of the country. It's in the San Juan Mountains. I started to fall in love with that area. I could definitely see settling there. I'm not sure if that will be where I end up settling, but it's definitely going to be on the list of contenders. I really like that area. Really enjoyed my time there. And then sort of where I had kind of thought about trying YouTube again. I feel like I had been over the many years paying attention to a lot of what's going on in the world. There are a lot of problems. There are a lot of big problems, and I feel like I have something to say, but I don't know. It didn't really feel right. I didn't feel like I had a place in the world. I don't know, or I don't know why anyone should listen to me or care what I have to say. And part of it too, I think, is I started. I mean, it's a pretty common thing for people to complain about people being, I guess, entitled, in the entitlement mentality. But I think a lot of, even the people that complain about the entitlement mentality may also be entitled a bit. And I started to feel like that for myself, that I'm not really entitled to a bunch of nice things and a nice place to live and uh, a lawful orderly society. Like, that's not something that's guaranteed. I'm not entitled to a virtuous society or like, I mean, there's problems. There's problems all over, and because there's people all over running things, and a lot of them are corrupt, and a lot of them are messed up. But what am I doing about it? Like, I can't. I really don't have much to say. If all I can do is complain, I don't know. I feel like there's something to earning the right to say something, or that your opinion matters because you can do something. I don't know. It's not completely 100% that way, but there is a big helping of truth to that. And I believe that we don't deserve all the things that we want. That many of the things that we have are gifts, and we aren't guaranteed that any of them will continue in the future. And if we want good things, a good place to live, then we need to be part of making that world exist. And so, I don't know, I needed to get involved, get going, get doing something on kind of to try to level up myself. And there a great opportunity was there in front of me. The trucking, I had considered it before. I had been discouraged from it from some other people. I think other people who care for me thought that it wouldn't be a great lifestyle, but part of that Colorado trip, I was living out of my vehicle and realizing I don't know, maybe I could see, like, if I can do this for an enjoyment, maybe it wouldn't be, maybe I'm built a little different, maybe I'm a little different, so maybe it wouldn't bother me that much, and maybe there's something there. And the training's not terribly long. It's a few weeks in most places, and the doesn't cost too much. It's not something you want to pay every day, but considering the opportunity that it opens up, I think it seemed worth it. So when I got home from that trip, I started looking towards organizing the next steps. I guess it was a little bit of that stepping out into the unknown, doing some things that intimidated me. Definitely starting trucking school was intimidating. The trucks themselves, there's a lot to learn there, a lot more than it looks like, really. And then and it goes pretty fast, the pace of school, and then getting hired by a trucking company very quickly afterwards, and then going through their training, and then by November, in the middle of November, I started driving on my own, Now here I am, a month and a half in, just about. I think I'm close to about 15,000 miles I've put in on the truck that they gave me the keys to a truck. It's crazy. Like, you think about that. Like, I don't know. It is pretty wild. It's pretty wild that you can go through a couple weeks of training, and some company will give you the keys to a truck, and it's really quite an opportunity. Like, I know this isn't for everybody, and not everybody can do this, but there's a lot of people out there that can really benefit from this. So if you haven't tried it and you're at a dead end, you should at least consider it. That's all I'm going to say. You should at least consider it. The way I thought of it is, if I try it and I work for a few months, I will at least pay back what I spent on the school, and at least I'll break even at that point. And if it's something that's for me, I can keep doing it. If it's not, then I can try something else. But so far, I think this is something for me. I'm getting to the point. The first bit of it is stressful, especially for me backing up. I'm still avoiding doing a angled back maneuver at a truck stop. I have still successfully avoided doing any of those. I've made all my truck stop parking has all been either a pull through or a straight back for me. I have been doing angled backs in lots with trailers, or into docks, or parking trailers. But I want to do as many reps as I can that way before I start backing up around. I don't know. The tractor trailers seems like a whole different kind of level of risk, and it just doesn't add much to me. I think I could do it. I don't know. I don't need to push it. I'm learning, and I'm improving. I'm feeling more confident in my ability to put a trailer into the spot that I want it to go to. I had some part of that was getting some additional training out of Atlanta. I stopped there and got some training from one of the trainers there. It was really influential. Made a big difference for me. But yeah, I got to the point where I just realized, like, this week and yesterday I was really thinking about, I think I like this. I like this, or I like, not all of it, but a lot of it. I do. I like the job, and I mean, some of the jobs I had before weren't so bad, and there were parts of them I liked, but I don't know. This fits me in a lot of ways that I like, and I think I could even come to really like, or maybe even love, this job, especially if I can iron out some of my backing to where that's no big deal anymore. I think I can imagine that happening. That's one of the biggest stressors, is just coming into new situations and not knowing what's going to be required. And this winter is going to be a little rough. I can already tell. So far, it's only been mostly just cold, which is no big deal. I got some coats and hats and gloves and stuff. No big deal. But we've gotten a little bit wet today, and I'm sure over the rest of the winter we'll get some more wet and cold, which will be a whole different thing. I'm interested to see how tomorrow goes. This parking lot I'm in will likely be a little bit icy, so dealing with some new things there. The ice adds an extra layer of danger, and then just the cold and wet is a whole different thing than just being cold. So got more of that to look forward to, but I think I can get through it. And so far, I think also I've been practicing trying to be of good courage as I go to the next stop, to step out. Like it gives you, this job gives you the opportunity. I guess you could go meet the situation with more stress and anxiety, or you have an opportunity to practice, I guess the opposite of that, trying to be courageous, or it may not sound like where courage really applies, but it's a good place to practice. I think you step out into the unknown. You don't know where, when you leave the parking lot where you've been, you're safe at that point, and then you fire up the engine, you take off the brakes, and you start rolling again. And it's going to take a maneuver to get settled again, and you don't necessarily know where that's going to be. You might not have ever seen the truck stop or the yard you're going to be at, and you don't know what's going to be there, and how busy it's going to be, and how tight the maneuver is going to be. If you can find a spot, like one of the places I dropped yesterday, all the real spots were taken, and I had to find a place I could tuck a trailer into, and managed to do it. And it took me a lot of get out and look. That was one, I did a bunch of get out and looks for that. Took me a while to park it, but got it done, and picked up the empty and headed out. And a lot of things go like that. And I over the collection of experiences that I've had, I realize that I keep getting through each of them, even if they are challenges. And that stacks on top of those all add up, and I can remember that, and I try to approach the next one not being anxious or fearful, but just being cautious, not being prideful or presumptuous or anything. Definitely still, as I approach a new thing, looking out where, try not to get into a situation I can't get back out of. That's one of the things I look for, is if I'm not sure if I'd be able to turn around, sometimes I just park it and go look. Does that really go out the way I think it does? Or at least make sure, if I go over there, can I turn around if this isn't what I think it is. So I do a lot of that sort of thing, and sometimes you hold up traffic while you figure things out. Like, is this the entrance that my truck goes into? Especially like on a truck stop, looking for the signs. And the shippers will have different ways they want you. Some want you in the right lane, some want you in the left lane. Some will have signs, some will have a cone out. Sometimes the cone means stop here at this cone. Sometimes the cone means don't go in this lane. So you gotta hopefully guess what their intention is. And sometimes they fuss at you, and just try not to take it personal. Just try to do what they want. And so far, I feel like this job gives back the energy that you put into it. I'm pretty sure if you go into it with a foul attitude and a something to prove and everything, I think you get put in your place. But I think if you go in with a good attitude and don't let stuff bother you so much, it's been pretty good for me. The interactions I've had with truck drivers have all been pretty good, and for the most part, and sometimes I think it's the shippers and receivers. Sometimes it can be the most grouchy and ill-tempered, but even they'll lighten up a little bit if I don't know. They lighten up a little bit if you don't let them bring you down to the sour and the dour. Just keep it cheerful. I don't know. Don't take things too seriously. Do what they ask you as best you can, and it all seems to work out pretty good. So I am definitely enjoying it so far. I'm actually enjoying it. I am enjoying and there are lessons here to be learned and practices of good mental health, I believe, and in small ways and large ways. I don't know, just the little practices of things like stepping out into the unknown. That's a good practice, and stepping out into discomfort when the wind is up and it's cold out, getting the coat on and going out anyways. I think it feels good. It's a good practice. Getting up early when the alarm goes off, when you know you need to. It feels good. When you learn to make that a practice, it feels good. And I've over the course of driving, I've started to feel my mind like untie. It feels like knots untying in my mind, and I've found myself especially over the last few days, not listening to my music quite so much. It feels like extra, like, I don't know. It's I just wanted the peace and quiet while my mind continued to. It feels like come free of, I don't know, some burdens or tangles, or I don't know what it is, but it just feels good to let my mind wander around. And I feel like I have this, I don't know what it's something sort of like a meditative state where I'm fully aware of the truck and my mirrors and the lanes and the signs and all the things that are going around me. I've started to normalize the whole process of driving the truck, and I've it feel like it has this like stream of consciousness feel of taking in the information, processing it and reacting to it correctly, but then also starting to appreciate the scenery around me at the same time, being able to appreciate the rivers that I cross and the snow-covered fields and the trees and the forest and the hills and everything as it goes by. The dawn and the sunset. I often, I think, especially because of being winter, the days are shorter. I'm often up before dawn, and I'll stop driving after the sun sets. So I'm there for both the sunrise and sunset, and I get to enjoy that. I really do. I enjoy the colors and I especially enjoy when there's clouds. I actually really like clouds. They add a little spice to the sky. I think a straight blue sky is I mean, it's nice once in a while, but it's kind of boring. So enjoy watching the sky, and it's just, I don't know, take it easy. Let things go a little bit, and I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are like pushing themselves too hard and pegged out to the max, and like sometimes, I mean, there's a lot of things asking you to do that in this life. There's a lot of things telling you that you should, but maybe you should take a step back and reevaluate, see if you really need all that stuff that you're carrying. Maybe let go of some things. You might not need all those burdens. And I think there's a different kind of life out there to be had, and that's what I'm aiming for. So I'll look forward to talking more about what that'll be like going forward in the new year. I've got a lot of things to think about and talk about, but I guess it's time to wrap this one up. 2023, a little bit rough, but started moving on a much better path, and I'm in a much better place, and I have a good trajectory. So I thank God that He has put a path before me, and He has guided me. I have felt His hand on my life through it all, and I've really been living out part of Proverbs 3, that to trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct your paths. I'll see you later.